3 things that might be signs that he will potentially cheat on you and what to do about it. Number 3 is a bit controversial and maybe a little triggering, but really important for you to hear. So stay till the end because it is a game changer. If a man is unfocused on his life or career, he doesn't complete things, he jumps around a lot, he may have a tendency to cheat. I'm not meaning every man who jumps around a lot or who is unfocused in his career or unfocused in his life is a cheater. But that is definitely a sign of a man who doesn't have his masculine sort of linear looking to a goal and accomplishing it no matter what energy in check. So a masculine man who is on a mission, who has, goals in life, who knows things can get hard and still will push through, who follows through on his own commitments and promises to himself, is not going to jump around that much and have shiny object syndrome. That's more a feminine trait, although, they're not black and white. We all have both. But when a man jumps around a lot, has shiny object syndrome, it may mean that he is just not good at committing through tough times in any area of his life. Number 2 would be love bombing. Have you heard about love bombing? I haven't made a video about it yet, but there's tons of them on the internet. Before you go looking, let me share with you why, if a man love bombs, that could be a sign that he may eventually cheat if you're not careful. So love bombing is where a man is just like going over the top too early. Like, for example, maybe talking about getting engaged, like on the first date, or buying you things like expensive bags or jewelry after the first or second or third date, or telling you that he wants to get married or that he's in love with you, or just over the top too soon kind of attention that is sometimes, for those of us who are so starving for affection, who've never had that before, that may feel really good and it may feel like real love, but be super, super careful. This is why I always talk about getting really strong inside yourself first and abundance dating other men so that this doesn't happen to you. It also often is done by scammers. So cheaters and scammers, it's the same type of guy, right? So scammers often will love bomb you initially. It happened to an older client of mine. So if you're like 60 plus, you are very susceptible to this online. So be careful. Where she was love bombed and she had never even met the guy, and they said, "I love you" to each other. And she was almost going to send him money, and I stopped her from doing so. She actually fired me because she was so mad at me that I would even think that this man was a scammer. Later, she emailed me and told me he was a scammer. So be careful, guys. Love bombing, whether he's a scammer or he's just emotionally so wounded that he needs to love bomb to get a girl, which is really not healthy. You don't want to be with them anyway. So careful with love bombing. Now, let me be clear. A man who is masculine and really likes you will be clear, steady, and will have the level of attention for you that is appropriate. Like on a first date, he will say, "I'd really like to see you again." He won't say, "I want to marry you," right? So there's different levels at different stages of knowing someone where things are appropriate, where him moving the relationship forward are appropriate. So on a first date, saying, "I want to see you again" isn't love bombing. That's just showing interest. So you get to say yes to a second date. If he takes you on a second date to Paris and buys you a purse and tells you he loves you and wants to marry you and maybe buys you an engagement ring and talks about having babies together and that kind of thing, it's a little much and a little soon. But if all of that happens slowly over time, over months and maybe a year or 2 years or several years, and it's a progression, then that isn't love bombing. right? So after you watch my video, go search on love bombing to get a really good idea of what it is. So just to finish up this point, a man who is masculine and likes you, you're going to be very clear that he likes you. He doesn't have to love bomb you to know that he likes you. B, he's really steady with moving the relationship forward from first date to second date to several dates to maybe taking you on a small trip to, asking for exclusivity to talking about the future together to talking about marriage, maybe deciding to get engaged and how that will happen, if he's going to surprise you or you want to be part of it. Like, these are normal progressions over time in a healthy relationship with a man who is very clear he likes you and is moving the relationship forward. All right. Before I go on to number 3, which is the controversial one and may trigger you, I want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel because this helps me help more people. I'm going to number 3 now. After dating a man for a while, if he starts pulling away, it may be a sign that he could cheat. Here is the thing. It might be you. Now, I'm not blaming you, but if you've had several men cheat on you, listen up. It might be that you're pressuring him energetically, and he feels choked and he feels pressured when he's not really ready yet for commitment. So if you are the type of woman who will bring up commitment, who will bring up becoming exclusive, who will constantly talk about how much you love that you met him and you're waiting to get married and you are calling him all the time and you're like, what are we doing? And like, let's go on a date, and you're leading and you're pushing and pressuring, and be honest with yourself. Don't pretend that you have no idea if you're doing that. You know you're doing that, okay? If you have urgency feeling in you, like you want to see him all the time and you're texting him and you're the one calling him first and he's kind of starting to pull away. He's kind of stopping calling you first. He's kind of stopping messaging you first. He's not so into dates anymore. He's energetically pulling away. Beware, because that pressure might be causing him to pull away. In fact, if you had a really good beginning and now he's starting to pull away, this may be a sign that your personality around dating and your wounds and your history are causing you to push men away. And if you then also have a special picker for men who cheat or who have a tendency to cheat, that's the time that men will cheat, is when they feel pressure from you. This is true in dating. I mean, if you're dating, it's not really cheating. You're not exclusive yet. But this is true from the level of dating that he will go enjoy other women more than you. From the level of being exclusive and in a partnership, boyfriend and girlfriend, and you've talked about this, but then he does go out and be with other women, to the level of living together, being married, and beyond. So no matter where you're at, if you are pressuring a man and the man is just like has had it up to here, he may seek relief elsewhere. And I don't just mean sexual relief. That may, it may manifest like that, but it's more relief from the pressure of the woman who is like on him, nagging and forcing and demanding and pressuring him and just like choking him. And he's just like, ah! And it makes him want to go find relief elsewhere. Relief looking like a woman caring for him, a woman not having pressure on him. All she will give him is sex. A woman not, demanding financial things or commitment things. This is why men cheat. They seek relief from the pressures that they're feeling at home. This is a very, very known thing. And I'm telling you, if you are the pressuring type, work on that. You need to work on that within yourself because A, you're going to stop attracting cheaters, and B, you're going to stop causing him to go for his tendency of cheating because of the pressure you're putting on him. Okay. So again, I am not saying this is your fault and you're causing this. Please don't, send me angry messages, or you can send me angry messages, but if you do, then you obviously are not listening. But this is not because I'm blaming you that he cheated because of you. What I'm saying is you may be causing someone who has a tendency to want to escape and he doesn't know how to deal with what's in front of him to cheat. Okay? So I've been cheated on and I take full responsibility for my part in it. I don't think it was fine or fair that my partners cheated at all, but I understand where it comes from. I understand that that's the way that they coped, and I could have handled it a little bit differently as well to not cause them to feel so much pressure from me. I could have, and that now I have the skills to communicate in a different way, to share my needs in a way that he can hear them instead of demanding and pressuring and nagging. Okay, I will leave that there. I hope this helps. Remember to subscribe and hit the like button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.